2025 has really just turned into a big time of building positions. Obviously, all the negative things around the space from a macro standpoint, war standpoint, tariff standpoint, whatever it might be, have obviously pushed down the price of many assets, Shiba Inu included. And we're waiting for the moment that we do start to make these extended moves to the upside. Well, there's two major things that I need to show you guys. In one, the SHIB ETH chart, but two, the SHIB dominance chart that show that it may in fact be time to wake up and make sure that your positions are rounded out, because we may be not far from go time here. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. It's been growing like crazy, and it's all because of you guys. Now, understand that when I'm saying this, I'm not saying, that this is the bottom or the bottom is in for sure, or that we're just going to have green candles from here or anything like that. So do not twist my words. But what I will say here is, one, like we talked about earlier, great conviction from Shiba Inu holders, great defensive price, still has not broken below 401 since all the way back in the early part of 2024. Those are all very good signs, and so far that is intact. Hopefully that continues, and I understand that things can change in the market. There can be outside influences that do cause the charts to do the things that we don't want them to do. And when we look at something like the SHIB ETH chart, obviously SHIB dropping versus ETH in this way is not what we wanted to see here for basically the last month and a half or so, almost 2 months now, because since the early part of April, SHIB broke down versus Ethereum, and that's because ETH has been doing some actually incredible things. We talked about the ETH BTC chart and us mimicking what we did back in 2019, getting ready for obviously hopefully our next leg and big explosive alt season, the fun times that we've been talking about and waiting for here. We look at something like SHIB dominance. We've been dropping here as well since all the way back in March of 2024. But there are actually two very bullish things playing out here. First of all, we've actually basically been mimicking what we did in the summer of 2024 on the SHIB ETH chart, which is a very good sign. Nothing wrong with coming down and doing a little bit of a retest here. But when I zoomed out, I noticed two very specific things here. One, we are actually building a huge, massive inverse head and shoulders on the SHIB ETH chart. So this is a very big deal, because this is, again, where SHIB might try to extend and break out of here. But basically, our big resistance is going to be up at this 0.04 range. Not sure exactly what the number is, because it only gives me 2 decimal points here, but we might be on the verge of SHIB trying to come up and test this once again. Now, understand, we've been rejected several times here when SHIB has done this in the past, but this may be, in fact, what SHIB is wanting to do. And another thing that's pointing towards that potentially being our next course of action here, take a look at the weekly stochastic RSI here. We have, in fact, bottomed and flipped bullish versus ETH. Now, why this is so important is, one, did this back here in the early part of 2025. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Early 2025 as SHIB made a run versus ETH. Did this back here in 2024 as SHIB obviously bottomed versus ETH, made a nice run. Did this again back here in February of 2024. We obviously saw the rally that took place there versus ETH. So this is showing that right now is probably bottoming versus ETH per se, and a potential huge rally ahead versus ETH. And obviously the conviction is helping show that as well. But this is also something that can kind of be tracked on this SHIB dominance chart. Obviously, like we talked about, we've been dropping since early 2024, but we're basically building a huge bull flag here. We're just testing the top, testing the bottom. We've been doing a lot more testing the bottom as of late because sentiment has been such garbage here in 2025. But if you haven't noticed, we keep getting these nice bounces right off the bottom. And what we might be actually preparing for is a little rally at least to the middle of this trend and trying to get back up towards the top like we did back here in November and December of 2024. Now, when we look at something like the weekly chart there as well, very similar signs to what we were seeing on the SHIB ETH chart. We have, in fact, had our bullish cross on this weekly stochastic RSI several times before. This has led to some rallies here. Not necessarily huge ones, but rallies nonetheless. Again, can be tracked back here in August of 2020. August of 2024 is when this started. Rally all the way to the top here. Obviously saw this back here, bottoming in February 2024. So very much aligning with what we have done in the past. All right, we needed to get down to the bottom. We needed to go through the full reset like I talked about in the other video. And every single one of these charts has shown a reset. And now it's a question of, what do these coming weeks look like? Do we get enough news to cause us to start making some of these extended breaks, right? Are we going to get something where SHIB dominance maybe just stays sideways because BTC is running so hot? Those are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. And I will say that, at least as of right now, we're seeing strong institutional trends. Institutional trends tend to lead the market to do either good things or bad things, depending on what those trends are. And the overall trend for the past several weeks has been buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. And I would say that it's done a great job right now. Institutional players have done a great job of buying even in the face of adversity. And that is going to eventually lead to retail confidence. It's going to lead to that PTSD wearing off. This is the exact stuff we need for SHIB to, again, make some of those extended moves. Try to attack this local high, this cycle high we've set here in 2025 or 2024 in this market cycle, right? And right now, if that happens in the next month or so here, that'd be SHIB hitting 403, which is maybe not, or breaking this long-term trend. That's 403. That's maybe not what people want to hear, but that's where it starts. Then that might be where the push begins, where SHIB can, again, attack a new all-time high, where we can try to get up to those, 3013, 3019, and so on and so forth as we get into the later part of the year. So that's just all what we're waiting for right now. Everything's building great, looking great. Hopefully it continues. How the market can be. It can throw us a lot of curveballs, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I appreciate it as always. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.